What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video today. So today we're going to be going over a engine bay restoration on an Evo 4. This is the CN chassis. Now this is as well by default the CP chassis, so that's Evo 4, 5, 6 and 6.5. And this is going to be a just a demo on how you can clean up your engine bay. This is going to be quite aggressive as far as doing it. But if you want to get a real nice bay, like a factory fresh bay, this is kind of how you want to do it. And yeah, so we'll go from there. So thank you for checking out the video today and stay tuned. All right, so this is going to be our under the hood before sort of look. So this is the engine right now. Mostly stock stuff in here. It's kind of a bolt-on car. It was used for AutoX, hill climb, time attack sort of stuff. And believe it or not, because the Evo was built for rally and sports car type stuff, these cars do fairly well when they're close to stock, and they actually are very reliable. So this was driven as a track car for quite a long time. And it's amazing to see, one, how well it did, and two, how stock it is. So the owner had said to me that he wants to be able to go to a car show and put the hood up without being embarrassed. So I don't think it's that bad. I think it just needs a mega clean, but we're gonna do a little bit extra. So the hood definitely needs a coat of paint. That black stuff on there was on the car from Japan, and some of that staining just won't come off. I mean, it'll come off with like a Scotch-Brite, but then you're taking off a bit of paint with it. So, and then same kind of staining is on the firewall. Like that looks like dirt, but it's not really dirt. Like, I mean, yeah. So it's just like stained paint. So we're going to be addressing all that. So mental picture, this is the before. Okay, so let's start yanking the engine. Alright guys, so still at the Evo 4 race car project here. Going to be turning it into a street car, as I mentioned earlier. Now involved in that, we're going to have to swap in a new engine. The old engine's tired, and right now pulled the engine, and I'm just tearing down the old engine, getting all the usable parts onto a new long block, and so I'm working on that. So I got the two engines over here, just slowly moving everything around. I took off the cam covers on both. I'm going to be refinishing that. Turbo's coming off. I'm going to be going through that, making sure all the lines are clean, and making sure it's ready to go. Customer wanted the SAS moved over, so I moved all of that over. All this piping, the valve, and yeah, so the next thing would be to get that turbo squared away. Turbo's sitting over here. I'm going to go through this and clean everything up and make sure that the gaskets are good, all the fasteners. And I have a stack of valve covers that I've stripped here, a bunch of them, and I'm going to be painting these up into some nice fresh red. It's going to go on these and get them all cleaned up and ready to go on some engines. So that's 3 valve covers there. Alright guys, so here is the Evo 4. We are way into it. So this is going to be stripping out the engine bay for paint. Tiny bit of rust repair, like not much, like we're talking like microscopic amounts. The chassis is pretty clean as far as rust goes, but we're going to paint everything. ABS is coming out, this guy. I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to do ABS delete. And yeah, we're going to get painting. So first though, we're going to have to clean this up and get it masked off for paint. Okay, so we're trucking along here with the prep for the engine bay painting. A little bit of small amount of rust repair just over here. You can see the silver epoxy there. And other than that, really not much rust. I propped up the fenders, so I'm not going to completely remove them, but I just need the paint to be able to kind of blow under the edge there. So that's propped up. And I'm going to be taking care of the harness here, wrapping it all, making sure it's out of the way so I can get around it with a paint gun. And as per usual, I don't remove a whole lot of things. I just kind of blow in paint in the spaces available, which is effective, especially in these older cars. When you start removing things, things start breaking. So I'll get a shot of this when it's completely masked for paint, but this is how we're starting out. right, guys, so where are we at with the Evo 4 race car conversion back to a street car engine bay? Well, this is where we're at. Sort of still in pieces behind me here. However, a lot of milestones have been hit. So the bay's painted. I went through the wiring harness, replaced all the crunchy, falling apart loom, got all that squared away, rewrapped that, went through the wiring, fixed a few wires that were a little bit brittle, and went through the engine, got a new valve cover on there. Yeah, and right now I have a steering rack that's been switched over from the GSR version to the RS version, which is faster. It's less turns, so it's a quicker steering rack. So that'll be a nice addition to this car. A little bit more of a race car for the street type feel. And yeah, so let's take a look at some stuff here. Okay, so transfer case is down here. That'll be going in. That's a LSD transfer case. Transmission is on the engine, and I went through the bell housing, cleaned that all out, new throwout bearing, cleaned everything up, and that's attached. Got a new Monster Sport titanium exhaust manifold cover there, and be able to see this a little bit better when it's in the car. Right now I have my engine balancer kind of covering everything, and because I'm fairly nervous about bumping this newly painted valve cover, we just got a few rags here to protect it, although there's a lot of room here. Engine bay is all painted up. Like I said, all of the harness has been gone through. It's just sort of strapped over to one side so I can put that engine back in. So very clean compared to where it was. I did a little bit of restoration work on this cowl piece. It was dry and oxidized. You can kind of bring back the luster by heating these up. However, it can damage and wreck them, so you got to be very careful, but it turned out really well. And walk over here to the back of my shop. I have the steering rack here, and I replaced a couple of O-rings in the lines. There's O-rings behind these bigger fittings. Made sure that these boots were strapped down properly, because they're a bit hard to get to when they're in the car, obviously. So some new steel straps on the boots. Cleaned it up a little, so it's pretty much ready to go back in. Put the lines on. Yeah, so that should be just fine. That'll go right in. So I just have to figure out the engine mounts quickly. I've got one here. Just gotta find the other one in my parts bin, and then this engine will be back in, and we'll get a before and after video going of the engine bay, which is going to be pretty drastic. So stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so we're at the point where we're wrapping up the engine bay. There's still a lot left to do on the car. Install the transfer case, suspension, subframe, things like that. However, I just wanted to show you guys the engine bay, and I'm pretty much wrapping that up. I've got a few vacuum hoses to finish and a few minor things like that, but overall it's wrapped up. And so I'd like to go over with you guys just a few things that I did on the engine bay, and as a suggestion to you, if you want to make your bay look nicer than it is, especially on the Evo chassis, there's a kind of a list of items that you'd want to address. You can get away with some old hoses, you can get away with maybe a tiny bit of dirt or corrosion, but if you take care of the bigger things in the bay, it will appear that the bay is very clean. So yeah, let's take a look and see where we're at. All right, so how did this bay turn out? I would say pretty clean. So going over some of the things that you'd want to do to duplicate what I've done here, there is quite a list. So yeah, let's go over it. So now I did pull the engine, as you saw in the video, and I did in fact paint the bay. Now that is a good start if you want to get to this level of cleanliness. However, you don't exactly need to do that if you just want to clean things up a bit. So now, if you wanted to go through the list of things to get your bay cleaned up, you just have to look at the screen, what you're looking at right now, and look at what is the most prominent pieces of this bay. And so I would suggest that the back panel along here, pretty important. It stands out quite a bit, especially when you're standing in front of the bay. You're going to see this white stripe that goes right across. So this would be something you could clean up. You could scrub it with a light acidic cleaner, like those orange type cleaners. Just household stuff. You want to use something gentle if you're going to be keeping the paint. And you may want to remove the VIN plate and clean behind it and then put the VIN plate back on. Obviously follow the laws in your area, whether you're even permitted to tamper with the VIN plate, but that is something that you would maybe want to do. And so now moving as your eyes go around, the strut towers, okay, they are a very important piece of this bay as well, as far as cleaning it up. You're going to see those. And if we're going to stick with the paint angle, look to the upper rad support. Okay, that is going to be visible as well. That's something that you'd want to clean up. Now you could, if you were really good at masking, probably mask all this off with the engine in and paint, because the other parts of the bay restoration is sort of when you're really looking into it. These the white, way down here, that white doesn't have to be necessarily perfect because it's a background color to what you're looking at. The other thing you may want to do on these cars is remove the ABS. Go to an ABS eliminator. It really cleans things up. You get rid of a bunch of the lines, and you also will have no problem cleaning in there in the future. And for the Stock Plus guys out there, I know there's a lot of you in the Evo community. I like Stock Plus too, and this is really just a Stock Plus build. An intake, a good intake. Okay, so this intake, the HKS RS intake with the mushroom filter, if you look really hard, you can still pick them up here and there. They're a great filter because they work with all of the stock piping. And they really clean the bay up because it eliminates a lot of the plastic pieces that is integrated with the stock intake and the stock intake box. It opens your bay up a little bit, and because it's built by HKS, all of the stock stuff hooks up. It's really good at integrating all of that. So you might want to go for an intake. I did post the restoration of this intake on my Instagram if you want a couple photos of that. I cleaned it up, I bought used, and I just used a little bit of effort to clean it up. Valve cover, definitely a must. That is the centerpiece of your engine bay. Get that valve cover done, get it cleaned up. I have a few videos on removing the baffles if you guys want to check those out, if you're comfortable with doing that. Or you can do what I do and use a chemical stripper and strip it off without using a sediment or blasting it, and the chemical stripper will allow you to paint it without removing those baffles. Next, this guy right here, you can still get these from Mitsubishi, Japan, And basically this is the coil pack cover. A fresh one of those, a great idea, along with the top cam cover here, okay, the cam gear cover. That's another important part. Now moving to the front of the engine, you'd want to do something with this. I got a Monster titanium exhaust manifold cover. That's something that you'd want to consider as well. You know, and then it's just a bunch of cleaning after that. Clean up your rad, okay, maybe paint your fan cover there, the metal one. Those tend to rust a little bit on these cars, so it takes, you know, an hour to clean those up and maybe just fog in a little bit of paint, right? Obviously not with it in the car, but and yeah, and then after that, if you want to go to a more extreme end, you would be removing a whole bunch of these items, cleaning them with soap and water, maybe buying some new reservoir, things like that, the caps, if you really want to. And same on this side. Deal with the fuse box, clean that up. You can remove it. You can move it around if you're delicate with it. And as well, rewrap the loom. The looms on these can get crunchy, especially the one running along the back of the valve cover that goes to the injectors. That's an important one. So take the time, rewrap that nice, and this is how it'll turn out. So this would be a good before and after. Okay, this is what you get. Now if you do want to go real crazy, you can paint the inside of the hood, which would go up here, and that's definitely an option. I will be doing that for this car. However, you can also, you know, scrub the hood out, get some soap and water, wash it out, get some light cleaner, household cleaners, wash it out. You know, you don't underestimate the power of soap and water is what I'm saying here. All right, and so this is where we're at. This is the engine bay, pretty much complete. Few little things, but yeah, we're pretty much done here. Alright guys, thanks for checking out the video today. So this was an episode on restoring the engine bay on your Evo, and this was obviously revolving around the CP chassis, so as well the CN chassis, so the Evo 4, 5, 6, and 6.5. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and as well, please check me out on Instagram at Wrench Rampage, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good night.